Hey everybody, it's Jay here from Four Small Town Guys. In my garage today, we were kind of talking about this, and we figured I've got a bunch of bike projects on the go, so maybe it was time to start doing some filming of the redneck small town crap I got going on in the garage. Take a look here. We've got just a couple kicking around in here. Um, we've got Goldwing, an Aspen Cade. We've also got a Yamaha Royal Adventure. That one belongs to Andrew. We've got a Virago XV1000. That one I just got running this spring. My Tenerae's in the back. Way in the back there, I got another Kawasaki Spectre 1200 that is totally torn apart. I'm hoping to get back together. We've also got another Virago back over here. This one belongs to Andrew as well. And then way in the back, we got a Honda CB125, Kawasaki KZ1000, and then my little Honda Navi. He's so cute, isn't he? Anyways, these are some of the things I got going on right now. I'm going to show you this Virago XV1000, the latest one that I'm working on here. This one is going to be kind of a chopper bobber build. I'm going to go with kind of a moonshiner theme on this. So there's going to be a lot of copper, a lot of shiny bits, a lot of retro stuff. This is the gauge cluster I found that I'm going to actually be using as my main gauge cluster for this bike. Otherwise, my goal right now is to get this thing running. I pulled the carbs off once, cleaned them, and they didn't really work. So they're off a second time. I've discovered that the pilot, it's a fixed pilot jet on these carbs. A lot of guys don't like these early Virago carbs. They're kind of a pain to work on, and they're known for not running that great. However, they're there, so we're gonna try and make it work. What do we got going on here? These are the carbs here right now. They look all nice and squeaky clean. However, these are a fixed pilot jet on these. It's got a passage that goes down inside of here that is being stubborn to clean out. So this is their second time going through the ultrasonic. We're going to get these back together, and hopefully that fixes that issue, and they're going to be running a little better now. So we're going to pause here. I'm going to reset up some stuff. We'll take a look and want to get these carbs back together, and we'll go from there. Okay. Well, we're going to see what we can accomplish with these two items here. I guess disclaimer for this, I'm just stupid redneck, so don't take anything I'm saying here as gospel. I'm learning on these things as I go. I do lots of reference off the internet, service manuals, so if something I'm doing looks wrong, chances are it might be, but I don't care as long as it works. Anyways, we're going to start putting these together. Now, one of these, the O-ring was stuck in the bottom of the idle air. Yeah, that one's got the O-ring, this one doesn't. So, this one goes on that side, and the other one doesn't. The idle air screws, you gotta just kind of go all the way in until they just seat, and then you gotta back it out, specified amount. These ones were backed out 2.5 turns, but the manual says 1.5 turns, so I'm going to go 2. There's a half, 1, half, 2. So we're going to do that, and we're going to see what happens when we actually get these back on the bike and back together. I was worried I forgot something. I'm putting these things back together. Hopefully I didn't. Don't forget when you're building carbs, especially on import bikes, these may look like a Phillips screw, but they are actually a JIS screw. This is Japanese something something. They're a deeper set than a regular Phillips. So putting these into these aluminum bodies, when you go to take them apart later on, if you just use a regular Phillips, what happens is you're probably going to strip those screws out because they stick and they don't come out. Your best option is a nice JIS screwdriver, something that's got a through shank on it. So when you go to take these out, if they're stuck, you just take a little hammer, give them a little tap, and then back them out. You can identify the JIS screws because they have, those ones don't have it. The newer ones anyways, they'll have this little tiny, I don't know if that's going to pick it up, little tiny dot here stamped into the head of the screw. That's how you know it's a JIS, so don't use a regular Phillips screwdriver on those. I'm sure there's a torque spec for these, but I just tighten them. Okay, now we need to put all this stuff in. You want to make sure that your needle is going down into the main jet there. Make sure it's seated in there before you try and squish it in. These also have a specific way of going in, but luckily there's a little spot that the rubber sits, so it can only go in one way. Once that's in there, your spring, and then the cover. I can't crank these down fully yet because I need to add brackets and get these all joined together, make sure everything's in the right position. So that's it for that one there. The numero deuce. Okay, eyelers in. All right, now fun part, trying to mate these together and get this line up with this and put all of the components together. Go that way, that's got it that way. So put them back on into reverse order, how they came off. The easiest way to make sure you don't get them in the wrong way. Now this needs to go under this, into that. Washer, E-clip. Pro tip, keep an eye on your E-clip when you're taking them off. Otherwise they go shooting across the garage and you never find them. Just not something I've done myself numerous times, but you know, happened to a buddy of mine. Probably Tim. Okay, that is not fully seated. There we go. God, I hope I don't have to take that off because I don't think it's coming off. All right. Now, I guess before I get too hot and horny here, we got to put the choke lever back on. These in that side. These in This side. Pops across, hooks under there. And need the spring. Oops. Oh, no. See? Now we get to do another tiny little E-clip. These are always so much fun. I'm probably going to drop in there, aren't I? Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Okay, now these get this piece. Then the damn shop. Okay, sorry about that. I forgot that I've got this. The only heat I got out here is this electric fan. It's kind of noisy, kind of annoying. Anyways, it's a good thing because as I was putting it together while that was running, I realized I forgot the spring to the slide. Oopsie doodle. Anyways, back in. And now we can put all this stuff back together again for the second time. Third time? I don't know. It's a lot of times. Okay. All right. I'm going to pause this for a second and then I'm going to do a bench sync on these. Just to make sure. I did it once already, but I just want to double check, make sure that that's all good. I'm not going to bore you with that. If you want to get details on that, there's lots of videos on YouTube that show you how to do that. So we will be back momentarily. All right, so got the carbs back together. Now the fun job of trying to get these things into place. It is not pleasant on these, so bear with me. Oh, actually, no, that's not going to work. So I got to get that other boot on first before we do that on the other side. Okay. These boots are one of the things that are a pain with these bikes as well. A lot of guys like to do a double to single carb conversion on these bikes, but I kind of like the look of the double carb, and plus it's gives you a little better performance with the double versus the single. I'm sure there's guys that would argue with that, but it's the way the world is now. Everybody argue about everything for no reason at all, just for the sake of arguing. Even when you're wrong, people always think they're right. I don't have a problem admitting when I'm wrong. Usually. Oh, maybe. No. Maybe. 50% chance. Yeah. All right. Sort of lined up. Okay. I can get this bolt to start. We may have something. All right. Back to the other side. We are spinning. Cool. Okay. Now, first time I did this on my other 1000, I struggled just to get the bolts out. Never mind get them in. So what I had to do was find me a spare 10 millimeter and give it just a little bit of a funky bend so I can actually get in and tighten the ones on the back of the valves or the heads. Hang on, I'll show you. This is what I'm talking about here. This bolt right back in there. Yeah, you can't get a wrench on there. It needs to have this special little bend so you can reach it in here, tuck it on there, and then tighten it. It's a pain in the ass. So I'm going to try and get these tight, and then I'll come back. Also make sure you're tightening the right way too. Key when you're pulling these carbs out is to try and make sure you don't pull this back stud out too far so that you can minimize the amount of struggling that you have to do to get it tightened back in there. I didn't say eliminate, I said minimize. There's two things I'm good at: making a mess and struggling. Yeah, you notice those hinges are bent out of the way because, once again, the engineer designed it so that the hinges are in the way to remove the bolts. Great. Okay, over to the left-hand side. Do the same thing. Tighten these two bolts up. Like I said, this isn't a how-to video by any means. I'm just kind of bringing you guys along on my weekend, farting around, killing some time in the garage here, trying to get this going. So there's lots of guys out there do really good detailed videos on working on these bikes. Everything from the 250s, 500s, 750s, 9s, 12 or 1000s, 1100s. Special wrench doesn't fit on this one because the frickin' clamp is in the way. Oh, that's awesome. As you can see, my workstation is perfectly clean. That's why I can always find my tools in such a hurry. Except for when I need them. There it is. Okay. All right. Well, since we're over here, we might as well get the car hooked up. I left my screwdriver on the bench. One moment. Okay. So, choke cable. What's that here? Tuck her in. Flip it around. Bolt her in. Okay. The clamp. All right, and this side fuel line. Now, right now, I don't have any clamps on any of these because these are just temporary. I'm going to be running copper lines for all my fuel lines eventually when I get to that point. But for now, I just need to get it running so that I can do the rest. All right, let's pop back to the other side. All right, this side here. So we got those tight. Tighten this boot up. Okay. Throttle cable. And then other fuel line. Okay. Now, this is the part where I turn on the fuel pump, turn the key, and fill the bowls and probably have gas pour everywhere. Let's see how that goes. Fuel pump is on. He is on. It'll take a few cycles here to get this to prime the pump. One moment. Okay, well, helps if it's got fuel in it. So we're going to prime this pump again. Oh, look at her come. Look at that. All right. Do that one more. And see if we got gas fucking pouring out anywhere. Looks dry at the moment. Okay. Well, see what happens. My battery's a little weak. We're going to have to choke a bitch and almost. No, we're going to need some battery. Okay. Got the booster on there. Let's see what we get now. Ah, we got gas pouring out. Told you this was going to happen. Excellent. Float stuck on this one. Always something. Always something. Maybe it stayed this time. Oh, I got nothing on my battery. Come on, girl. She's stubborn. Yeah! Oh, hell yeah! Woo! Baby! That is a hell of a lot more than it was doing the last time. All right, I gotta clean some shit up. Hang on. Well, may have been a little premature on the celebration. So it's running, but it's only running on the front cylinder. So I'm gonna have to do some more investigating and figure out why the hell that is. New plugs. It's got spark. Got compression. So I don't know. I'm still leaning towards fuel delivery issue just because the plugs are still. The plug is kind of dry on that back one. So I don't know. I'm gonna find a squirt bottle, start spraying some fuel directly into that carb body, and see if that makes a difference with anything, and try and figure out what is going on. Anyways, I'm gonna call it for this video, and we'll chat to you guys next time. See ya.